Switzerland has long been renowned for its banking secrecy and neutrality, establishing itself as a safe haven for wealth and financial transactions. This reputation was particularly pronounced during World War II, a tumultuous period that saw the nation maintain its stance of neutrality while simultaneously becoming a focal point for financial activities linked to the war. Swiss banks played a controversial role during this time as they accepted deposits from various parties, including those associated with the Nazi regime, raising ethical questions about their practices and the implications of their actions. The complexities of Switzerland's banking history during this era reveal a tangled web of financial dealings that not only shaped the country's economic landscape, but also had far-reaching consequences for global perceptions of Swiss banking. As we delve into this intriguing chapter of history, we will explore the multifaceted dynamics of Switzerland's banking system during World War II, examining the moral dilemmas faced by financial institutions and the lasting impact of their decisions on contemporary banking practices and international relations. Switzerland's banking secrecy laws have their origins in the early 20th century, designed to protect the privacy of account holders and foster a secure environment for financial transactions. The banking law of 1934 was pivotal, establishing strict confidentiality for clients and positioning Switzerland as a premier destination for wealth management. This commitment to secrecy was deeply intertwined with the country's long-standing policy of neutrality, which allowed Swiss banks to operate without interference from foreign governments, thereby attracting clients seeking refuge from political and economic instability. By maintaining a neutral stance, Switzerland not only safeguarded its own interests, but also provided a secure haven for assets during turbulent times. The economic power that Switzerland sought to maintain through these banking secrecy laws was significant. It enabled the nation to cultivate a robust financial sector that thrived on the influx of foreign capital. As a result, these laws not only shaped Switzerland's banking landscape, but also had profound geopolitical implications, influencing international relations and the global perception of Swiss financial practices. Switzerland's stance of neutrality during World War II was underpinned by a robust military mobilization aimed at defending against potential invasions. In anticipation of conflict, the Swiss government implemented a comprehensive defense strategy, mobilizing its armed forces to ensure readiness against any aggressor. This included fortifying borders and establishing a network of bunkers and defensive positions throughout the country. Additionally, Switzerland took significant measures to maintain airspace neutrality, deploying fighter aircraft to patrol its skies and prevent unauthorized incursions. These actions were crucial in preserving the nation's sovereignty and deterring potential threats from both Axis and Allied powers. Internationally, Switzerland's neutrality was met with a mix of admiration and skepticism. While many recognized the country's commitment to remaining uninvolved in the conflict, others questioned the ethical implications of its financial dealings with warring nations. Ultimately, Switzerland's ability to navigate the complexities of neutrality while preparing for defense showcased its unique position in a world engulfed in war, influencing perceptions of its role on the global stage. During World War II, Swiss banks maintained a controversial relationship with Nazi Germany, continuing to accept gold and conduct business despite the regime's heinous actions. This financial engagement allowed the Nazis to launder looted assets, including gold extracted from occupied territories and even from the victims of the Holocaust. The implications of this relationship were profound, as it raised serious questions about Switzerland's claimed neutrality. While the country positioned itself as a neutral party, its financial dealings with the Nazis suggested a complicity that undermined its moral standing. Several Swiss companies, including prominent firms like UBS and Credit Suisse, were implicated in ignoring the atrocities committed by the Nazis, prioritizing profit over ethical considerations. These institutions not only facilitated the flow of resources to the Nazi regime, but also contributed to a broader culture of silence regarding the war's brutal realities. As we analyze this complex relationship, it becomes evident that the actions of Swiss banks during this period had lasting repercussions, shaping both Switzerland's post-war reputation and the global discourse on financial ethics. During World War II, Hitler orchestrated a systematic campaign of looting Jewish assets, seizing property, businesses, and financial resources across occupied territories. This organized theft was part of the broader Nazi agenda to eradicate Jewish communities and appropriate their wealth. Swiss banks played a significant role in facilitating the use of looted gold, accepting deposits that included assets stolen from Jewish victims. By providing a safe haven for these ill-gotten gains, Swiss financial institutions not only profited from the transactions, but also became complicit in the broader atrocities committed by the Nazi regime. The moral implications of Swiss banks' actions during this period are profound, as they prioritized financial gain over ethical responsibility, turning a blind eye to the suffering of countless individuals. This complicity has led to ongoing debates about accountability and the need for transparency in banking practices. As we reflect on this dark chapter in history, it is crucial to acknowledge the role of Swiss banks in the looting of Jewish assets and the lasting impact of their decisions on the collective memory of the Holocaust. In the aftermath of World War II, there was a growing international outcry for accountability from Swiss banks regarding their involvement in the acceptance of looted gold and assets. Many countries and organizations demanded that these banks return the ill-gotten wealth to its rightful owners or their descendants. This pressure led to legal actions against Swiss banks in the post-war period, as various lawsuits were filed to seek restitution for the victims of the Holocaust. The legal landscape was complex, with numerous claims highlighting the bank's complicity in facilitating the flow of stolen assets. In response to mounting criticism and legal challenges, Swiss banks began to engage in settlements and compensation efforts. In the late 1990s, a landmark agreement was reached, resulting in the establishment of a fund to provide compensation to Holocaust survivors and their families. This initiative marked a significant step toward acknowledging the past and addressing the moral obligations of Swiss banks. Although debates about the adequacy of these efforts and the need for further accountability continue to resonate today, the ongoing controversies surrounding Swiss banks and unclaimed accounts remain a poignant issue for many victims and their families. Despite efforts to address the legacy of World War II, there is significant dissatisfaction among Holocaust survivors and descendants regarding how unclaimed accounts have been handled. Many feel that Swiss banks have not done enough to identify and return these assets, leading to a sense of injustice and frustration. The challenges in recovering Nazi gold are compounded by bureaucratic obstacles and a lack of transparency, making it difficult for families to trace their lost wealth. This situation has left many feeling that their suffering has not been adequately acknowledged or compensated. In response to these challenges, various organizations have emerged, dedicated to uncovering the truth about Swiss banking practices during the war. These groups work tirelessly to document the history of unclaimed accounts and advocate for greater accountability from Swiss banks. Their efforts aim to shed light on past injustices and ensure that the voices of victims and their families are heard in the ongoing quest for restitution. In this video, we explored the complex and often controversial history of Switzerland's banking practices during World War II, highlighting key themes such as the nation's commitment to banking secrecy, its neutrality, and the troubling relationship Swiss banks had with Nazi Germany. We examined the implications of these financial dealings, including the looting of Jewish assets and the ongoing controversies surrounding unclaimed accounts. Understanding this historical accountability is crucial, as it sheds light on the moral responsibilities of financial institutions and the lasting impact of their actions on victims and their families. As we reflect on these significant events, we encourage you to engage with this content further. If you found this discussion insightful, please consider subscribing to our channel, liking this video, and sharing it with others who may be interested in learning more about this important topic. Your support helps us continue to create valuable content that fosters awareness and understanding of historical events and their implications in our world today.